Wazee hamjambo? Wazee hamjambo? It will only take me about an hour, so I'll not keep you very long. Sari moja tu. Wazee mkiwa pamoja mtulie tu. And this time at least unajulikana huko wapi, si ndio? Kwa hivyo ni sawa. Today I don't have very many words. I want to thank the team that is here. Kanja, thank you very much for a great job well done. Pigeni Kanja kwa moja. And of course the team of the 14 men. I thank them a lot for that. Leo sina mambo mengi. I was just sitting here enjoying the talk because I'm also a man. I may be a little bit older than most of you, but a man is always a man. And a man is always a man in trouble. It doesn't matter. I'll give you 2 cases and then I sit down. There was a time I was very privileged and I was sent on some expatriation to Uganda. And there was no budget limit. I had a beautiful car. I was living in a wonderful hotel. I was looking for a house. And I found a house of my choice. And I was living alone because my wife and children hadn't moved. We were waiting for the right time for them to move. Kwa hivyo mimi nilikuwa peke yangu. Sasa uko peke yangu, nikaandika watchman kazi na pia nikatafutiwa house girl. Uganda. And I think on average, every girl, it doesn't matter house girl, they are very nice. Uganda is very endowed. So even the one who was brought as house girl was one of those mlikuwa mnaongea mwezi angalia. And then my wife is not here, so I have all the time to look. Asubuhi unaangalia, jioni unaangalia. But I was waiting for my wife and children to come. So, and you know Uganda. Uganda, wanawake wa Uganda si kama hapa. And then I happen to be a Kikuyu. Ni Korea. You know, that's how they ask you, will you eat? They are very matter of fact women. In Uganda, you can't be asked whether you're going to eat or not. Food is served. Wewe ukatae chakula imeiva. Ya pili, unlike my wife, and of course I assume your wives, a woman can't come and give him something like this. She has to bend, kneel down in front of you, and then ask you, will you eat? The food is here. Anaamka, anaenda. Akikuletea chai, anakuja na chai, she kneels in front of you, anakneel, anakupatia chai, anafanya hivyo, alafu anaamka, anaenda. After 2 weeks, my wife came and the children. But the house girl had been there for a while, so yeye ndiye anawakaribisha. So when I come home, naletewa chai. Mama akaangalia, akauliza, leo ni mwanzo hapo. Ni mchinga gani hapa? What is happening here? Akaangalia, akaongea na yule msichana. Bali yule msichana hawezi sikiza mwanamke mwenzake. Na huyu ni mwanaume. Na mwanaume in Uganda is a big person. Sio hapa tuliumia vipi? Kuna mtu anatuheshimu. Hata ukiletewa chai, chai kwa hapo. Kunywa. Nataka kitu kingine ndio hiyo. Sasa ikakaa, akawa anakuja tu vile vile. Nikamwambia my wife, let life go on. There is nothing between us. Anaheshimu tumwa, hii ndio maisha yao hapa. Ananiambia sawa. So I went to work one day and I came back. Kauliza utakunywa chai? Nikasema nikaletewa chai. Na masi mwingine alikuwa amekuja kutoka Kenya na akamba. The replacement was done. And Masi hata anafanya kazi hapa. Masi was living with us when we were in Kenya. But when we went to Uganda, yeye akarudi. Nikaenda Uganda kwanza na yeye alikuwa ameacha kazi. alitafutwa mpaka akapatikana, akaambiwa can you get on to the next Akamba. Na sasa hata sikuambiwa, niambiwa hiyo jinga kupigiwa makofi na mwanamke huyo waache. So we are in trouble. The only other thing I wanted to say, you can be in trouble because today you've been talked to a karibu hiyo umepewa. You can be in trouble even when you are very well intended. Wanaume vumilieni tu. I'll give you my case. So, nimeanza kuzeeka. Na nimesema as a good man, which I encourage you to be, nijipange. Mtu akivuka miaka 60 ni kujipanga. Nikamwambia mama, you know, there is something I want. Well intended. Kuna kitu nataka tufanye. I would like to write my will and I want it to be combined. Tuandike tukiwa pamoja. Akasema really? Nikamwambia yes. At that time, I had found a very good family lawyer, a lady family lawyer, and to advise sana, especially in private schools. So I called her, I booked a meeting with her at United Kenya Club, pale university. Kutana ya mapema. Nikamwambia mama, I don't want to meet her alone, I would like to go together. Nikamwambia that's very good. When I told the lawyer, she said, you really want to do this together with your wife? He said, yes, there is nothing I hide from my wife. So that tujipange tukiwa pamoja. Everything. That was about 2 months ago. Tukaenda asubuhi na mapema. Tunafuatana kila mtu gari yake ili tukishamaliza ule mkutano kila mtu aende zake. We were in love in the morning. We were in love in the morning, wanaume. Vitu viharibika. We were in love. Tukafika pale, we are members, so she also knows people. Tukafika pale, tukaitisha chai, breakfast, full breakfast. We are in for a serious meeting. And the lawyer came. Hello. Fine. And in fact, although we have dealt with her, we are not friends. And we just acquaintances. And we have never had even a meeting. Me and her. It's the first time we're having a meeting. The other meetings we have are the group meetings when we are Kenya private schools, and she's talking to us together. So we sat down. Oh, very good. Oh, she took out some paperwork. I got to brief. This is how to do it. This is how to do it. So tell me the story. And of course, this school forms a big story in my will. And what I would like to happen if I'm not here tomorrow morning. And we talked, and she asked us all the questions. Uko na watoto wangapi? Uko na bibi wangapi? Ni huyu peke yake ndio. And you don't have a problem with everything. I said, there is nothing. Hata vitu vingi hapa tumetengeneza na yeye. So there is no problem. And she will sign and I'll sign. So what does your firstborn do? I said, my firstborn is called Gathoni. And in fact, that's a sensitive point because actually she works in the school. I would like you to advise me, if I was not there, what happens? Will the others take part? Will it be has, whatever it is. Oh, so she works with you. And I want you to listen very carefully. Okay. I said, yes, she's working with me. Actually, she has worked with me for 7 years. She works at the school, and she has been at the school for 7 years. And the second one is also at the school, but she came later. And the third one is just entering professional work. She's like you, she's a lawyer. She's in her pupillage now. Okay. So that's the part that is interesting. So then we talked for 3 hours. So she said, give me 2 days, and then I will put this in a legal framework. And then we will meet again, and if you want to change anything, you change. So the following day, or 2 days later, she sent me, because I'm her contact, isn't it? So she sent me on email and on WhatsApp the full report with next steps. And I told my wife, amenitumia, tutaiangalia pamoja. So no problem, whenever we have time. So on this day, I wanted us to look at it, but I woke up a bit late. My wife was almost there. I said, don't go. In the meantime, I'm sending you that report from the lawyer. When we saw ukiwa hapo downstairs ukikunywa kahawa, Na mimi nionge haraka haraka nikuje. But me, have you read this? In fact, I had not even read it. But I'll go down and we'll read it together. Tuko pamoja hapo? Sasa ameshuka na nimetuma WhatsApp. Imeenda chini. Si ni notes za ile mkutano tulikuwa nayo. Wanaume wewe. I'm just about to get into trouble and I didn't know. So akaisoma. My wife works very family. So unaweza msikia akiwa mbali sana. So I've finished my shower. I'm now dressing. Nikasikia mkuvyo. Kwa. Akaja ameingia. We call each other Wakoa. So she asked me, Wakoa, what is this now? What is this? Akamwambia, what do you mean? No, what is this? What do you mean? Hey, temperature imebadilika dakika ngapi? Nikamwambia, is there a problem? Akaniambia, hii mambo yote na hata mjaniambia. Nikamwambia ni nini? Akaniambia, kumbe una watoto wengine. Nikamwambia, watoto? It is here, it is written. Uko na watoto wengine? Nikamwambia, can I dress? Nikuje downstairs. Tuongee hapana. Tuongee saa hii. Nikamuuliza ni wapi? Nikamwambia hapa. Nikamwambia nisomee. Sasa nikasoma. Ikasemekana kwamba the husband has 3 children. And one of them is 7 years old and goes to school at the same school. Na imeandikwa. Niko na watoto watatu na kuna mmoja, how many years old? 7 years old, na anasoma wapi? Na anasoma hapa. Nikamwambia, but can't you get? This is Gathoni. No. Wameongea mambo ya Gathoni. Huyu mmoja wa 7 years na imeandikwa anasoma Corner Brook. Ni nani? Ni wa nani? Si investigation sianze. Mama apige simu ukaulize, kuna mtoto mkubwa director anasoma. Sasa karibu aitishe list ya watoto wote wako 7 years. Aulize mama yake ni nani? Do you know that discussion didn't go anywhere? Do you know it is 2 months ago and we have never revisited? Do you know I had to call the lawyer in her presence? Nimuulize, what did you write? Akaniambia, what do you mean what I wrote? Can you access that document? Usome. Akasoma akasema, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. Apologies. I think it's my assistant who wrote like that. But you know what? My wife anasema, how can a lawyer make such a mistake? And I knew. I was suspecting why he selected you. I was wondering why he selected you. So you know, he just, and the way he took to the lawyer now. And he had told me, you have never met Mrs. Mburu. We have never met with your husband. You have never met with your husband. Yeah? What do you mean? How do you know he has another child and I don't know? No, he doesn't have another child. It's a misrepresentation. I'm sorry and I'm ready to correct. Apology was taken. But even today, we have never discussed it again. Mambo inaweza kuharibika even when you intend. So nikamwacha sasa apoe pole pole, alafu turudi sana kwa lawyer. Wanaume, mambo huwa inaharibika. I don't have anything else to say because I think all of it has been said. But acha nichangie kwa sababu some of you are very young on that spiritual matter. You remember that day, and you alluded to that. That day you decided you are old enough to get married. You remember that day you decided, I'm going to marry Shiro. That is the day. Before that, you should have taken a decision. What do I want to do with my family? And you can still do it even now. Because once you get into a marital situation, there are things you cannot get back. That's why you find people, because of too much democracy, the husband still goes to his old church, and the wife still goes to their old church. Although I'm not an authority, I say that is wrong. So again, I give my case. Before we got married with Shiro, this is an issue that I discussed because I was very particular about spirituality. Not that I was very spiritual, but I am a Catholic, and if I was going to get married to anybody, she had better be either a Catholic or ready to turn into a Catholic. Not because the Catholic Church is the correct one, because it is the one I understand. And as a father, I'm going to take charge of that family, and I'm going to be the authority in everything, even in spiritual matters. And I can only teach what I know best. And it's an issue that took us time, and they actually delayed our arrangements because the parents and herself, she was born again. I don't know how somebody gets born again when they are old, because I'm a Catholic, we don't. But it is good to be. And the parents were not only born again, they were very highly spiritual in the PCA church where my wife had grown. So when she went home and said there was an issue about spirituality, and Joe has said when we get married he would like us to be Catholics, the parents said put that to a stop. Then I went and I discussed with them and I told them religion is religion. But for me, this is something I'm not going to discuss. Because if I join PCA, I will not understand things and I will not know how to teach my children. And I want to take that responsibility. So I'm very glad because she accepted. And I made a second move and I told her, this is not just for talking. Do you know and accept that the last time that you'll attend a PCA service is the day we do our wedding, because we will do the wedding in the PCA church? She said, yeah, but once a while. I said, there is nothing like once a while. The last day you'll attend PCA church will be the day of our wedding, which will be on the 21st of August, 1993. And the good news is that that is the last time she attended a service in a PCA church. Why am I saying this? When we had our first child, the second child, and the third child, I take the responsibility of their spirituality, because they have no spirituality. It is me who is giving it to them. And as Kanja said, the first time I will allow them to even think outside the Catholic Church is when they become independent. After 18, they have an ID, and people say that is wrong. But they say, I made so many decisions which nobody challenges. I made a decision to marry your mother even before you knew her. I made a decision to give birth to you even before you knew what was happening. I took a decision to clothe you. I took a decision to feed you. I'm taking a decision to educate you. Why is everybody not talking about that? But when I talk about spirituality, people say, give them choice. What choice? So when she was in university, this same Gagoni, she came. We tried to have breakfast together when we are available. And said, Dad, I wanted you to know I'm shifting church. And they had discussed. And they knew Dad will jump, hit the ceiling and come down in pieces. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, I want to change church to go to now. I said, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. And I hope it's a church that you're going to introduce us. And when you move from the Catholic Church to this other church, please learn everything about it and hold it very dear and enjoy it. And please, I hope you'll be allowing us to come to a church once in a while. She said, yeah. But later on, I realized they had another meeting after my talk. And what the Lord said is, that is so frustrating. Imagine you didn't even get annoyed. And even today, she's still a Catholic. You understand? Wanaume tuko na mitego mingi sana. But take charge. Take charge. Last year I talked to you a lot. This year we not. But take charge. In every single sense, take charge. And in every single situation that you find it, remember there are secret eyes that are watching you to see what decision as a father you are making. You are the fathers, and you have no assistants. I want to thank you for coming today. And having met for the second time now, we are getting rooted. So we are thinking of other things to do. I know some people suggested last time. So maybe for next year or later, we will think of how to do this thing even different. Because this union is a long union. And you may find best friends here who you'll do business with and all these kind of things. Where we are able, sometimes we source from parents. You can't always do that. Sometimes it may bring problems. But even that, we will start to see what kind of other associations can we do together? Because this is a journey. I met a girl this morning here, and I sent that picture. I sent it to the group. And she said, how are you, Mr. They call it Sempaparatus. How are you, Mr. Sempaparatus? I said, that's fine. I said, do you know what? I said, yes. Do you know I came here in 2019? And I have been in this school for 7 years. Just this school. Do you know how strong those words are? Some of you parents have been here those 7 years. Some of you fewer. So where you are, you must learn how to live in that place. This is a community. It is not always that we speak so nicely. Sometimes problems come in. We've had major problems sometimes with parents. We've had major problems sometimes because of different issues. But people on a common journey will always get into those issues. We'll always get into those issues. And those who are Christians, I will only give you an example of one man who you copy. And I told you, I think last time, my love of the Bible is St. Joseph. The most famous person who never said one word in the Bible. He only acted. He only did what he needed to do. He's never quoted having said anything. But he protected his family. He taught them trades. He looked after them. He fed them. And he was a wonderful father. As you go home, it's not about the words. It's about the actions that you do. Let your actions lead your family. Let your actions guide your family. Let your action be the beacon that your family will cling on. Go be busy and do your work like St. Joseph, silently but impactful. Thank you very much. May God bless you.